Good evening, folks. Tonight I'm deciding to smoke one of my Falcon pipes. It's one of these, I think, shillelagh twist ones. But I haven't got any Falcon filters, so I'll just make my own. Give this pipe a little clean out on the inside with a small bit of tissue. Clean that out. Just rub it like that. I hope everybody's doing well, by the way, in the smoking piping world. Well, I got my summer house painted for the winter. My niece decided to come over and do it for me. I tried giving a bit of a hand along with my wife Tracy and my son Crichton, but as being a diabetic, I took a bad hypo today. And for those of you who don't know what a hypo is, if you're not diabetic, it means my sugars went really quite dangerously low. They went down to 2.8, which is very low. But I'm feeling a bit better now, so I decided to come on once I had something to eat and make a video. Now, in order for me, I just usually don't really bother buying Falcon filters for the tube at the bottom. What I do is just make my own by firstly getting my little Swiss Army knife out here, and I'm just looking for the scissors. Get the scissors out. Now what I do is I just get the pipe cleaner, bend it around the tip of my pinky like so, so I get a wee round hole like that. Then I just clip the end there with the scissors. If this little scissors will cut it, yeah, it does. So the scissor cuts that, and then I just put that in there so it fits round there, and then I just get the bowl that sits in there like that. Oh, sorry, that fell out. Oh, so it just sits in there basically like that. The wee white thing, pipe cleaner. Once I clean it, it just sits in there, and then I just screw that on like so. So that gets up nice and clean. And I'll just give this a wee clean on the inside, like such. Just fill a bit of the walls, clean it up, bin that, get the scissors back on the old Swiss Army knife, comes in handy. Then I shall just I did open early morning tobacco yesterday, so I'm just going to smoke some more of it tonight. This is last night I had some, and I'm just going to smoke some more tonight. Now, I don't know, I know you will all be familiar with Falcon pipes, but I don't know if all of you have ever tried smoking them. They are fantastic smoking pipes. Really, really good. Let's get some of this tobacco out here and soften it out. Yeah.
You don't need to cut that, no?
No. So, we'll just fill this up with some good old...
What's that round stuff you need to cut in it?
Aye, that's the black twist and the brown twist here. And I'll just fill this up. With some good old early morning. Just test that draw. Always test the draw so it's not too tight. Always remember, think of drinking chocolate milk or milk and just get that consistency. And you can't go wrong. It's a learning process. The more you do it, the better you get at it. That's that. So, yes, I was most happy with my niece coming up and doing the painting job on my shed, and the wife even helping out on my son.
What I could do.
Aye, well, what you could do still tried, but I just noticed my sugars drop quite quick if I try to do something, not like 10 years ago, you know. And I do take my insulin, I do eat, and I check my blood sugars quite often. It's just a nightmare. Sometimes you get good days, sometimes you get bad days. Now this pipe I made up myself. Colours, you know, the bowl to get the match, and I just liked the red, white and blue of it. I have got other ones. I've got the Briar ones, Falcon Briar ones, but it's a good invention of a pipe, you know. And I think during the era of the 50s and 60s, in the United Kingdom, they were very popular. Just gonna have myself a coffee. Always bring a flask out. Don't drink alcohol. Yeah, they were very popular. Such a cool smoke. Especially when you got one of your favourite tobaccos in it. They are good smoking pipes. I'm trying to remember is the Falcon International, I think it is, or I can't remember. There's a few different kinds of Falcon pipes, but I have them. I took a couple out last night, I think I showed you. Now this is the most relaxed I've felt all day. It was wasn't it some American engineer or something like that that actually invented the Falcon pipe? And then they became big over in the UK in between the 50s and that, 60s, 50s and 60s. Great travelling pipes if you're going on holiday. You know, just take a couple of different bowls where you change bowls, and away you go, you know. They don't cost a terrible amount of money. And there's not going to break if it falls, because they're aluminium, you know. So that's the good thing about them. And in order for them to get hot, you really have to be puffing hard on them, you know. They are good pipes, they keep cool. You know, I keep going on YouTube, you know, just flicking through. And I keep looking at the state of this world. Migration, and now the UK is just a little island. You know, any more people that come on it, it's going to sink. You know, I think there's something like 35,000, maybe even more, come into the UK. Now, I've got nothing against anybody coming into your country, as long as they respect our rules. Now, there's people, I don't know where they're from, could be from Rwanda, Nigeria, but they're about maybe half a mile away from me. They're staying up in the woods and tents, camps and all sorts of things, just behind my niece's house, you know. That's no way to live. You know, I know a lot of these people are running away from torn war countries, and I know there's a lot of immigration in America and all through Europe, but I'm only speaking, you know, like UK is a small country. Now, I just go back to my grandfather's time. You know, imagine of all the men of the British Isles, you know, the Scots, the Welsh, the English, you know, imagine if they all ran away during the First and Second World War. If they decided to run away to foreign countries and not stand their ground and fight for their wives, their children, you know. And I've always noticed everybody that's coming into this country, I've seen them, I've bumped into them, they're all young, fit men. Got better phones than I have. But that's what I've noticed, they're all fit young men. And it makes me just wonder sometimes what is going on. They're all through Europe, all through the United Kingdom. I mean, all the hotels in the UK is all taken up, you know, but yet there's ex-soldiers sleeping on the streets. As I said, I've got nothing against anybody. You know, I feel sorry for people that are in that situations. But why? I just don't know how our governments are letting this happen. Because the people of this country whose grandfathers fought for this little spit of an island, they're getting nothing. But left on the street, while the foreign migration get put up in hotels. And if you say you're from this country, they just say, "Oh, stuff you, go and sleep on the street corner." They get paid daily. They start work immediately, and for Pizza Huts and all that kind of places. And none of them are vetted. We don't know if they're murderers, rapists, child molesters, you know. And I know the same's happening in America. America, you just are cousins across the pond. You know, brothers in arms. Some of yous are half Scots, some of yous are Welsh, English, Irish. You know, good stock people like us. A man should be able to stand it in his own country and voice his own opinion. Well, that's what our grandfathers fought for, wasn't it? I know my grandfather was at the Normandy landings and D-Day, and he survived that, and so was my uncles, and my other grandfather, he was in the First World War during the Somme. He got shot just about an inch above the heart, but he survived. What for? For our governments to tell us we can't even teach our own religion now. But yet they can go and build mosques. As I said, I'm a Christian. I've got nothing against anybody, but I just find it a bit unfair. You know, I don't stay in that large of a city. Maybe many of you know Inverness in the Highlands. But I still see homeless people, and I see other people that come into the country, they're staying in hotels. It's a shame the way things are happening, but we can put the world to rights, folks, just by sitting smoking a pipe, eh? You even get strange looks down the street if you smoke a pipe. It's like, get that away from me. But it's okay with the car backfiring and with all its fumes coming out of the exhaust and all that. That's alright, isn't it? People have been smoking pipe tobacco since the beginning of time. Cars haven't been along that too long. I'll tell you, tobacco's been along a lot longer. Yeah. So at least we're allowed to smoke our pipes in freedom. Freedom! Yeah. It would just make your ancestors turn in their grave, wouldn't it? I think even if you start preaching the word of God on the streets, you're told to move along or not to say it because it'll offend other people. There's been Christianity in this country since about the 5th century, since Columba came across. And drove Nessie back into the loch, so the story goes. So, how many of you out there smoke a Falcon? Yes, well, the summer house been painted. It's been painted a nice grey colour. It took a few coats, but it came out nice. Still to get the inside done. Yeah, who knows what's happening in this world, you know. So much slaughter happening over in Ukraine and Russia and Israel and the Hamas and but we all know, for those of us who are Christian, that God is keeping an eye on us. It's not God's fault. And some people say, why does God let that happen? It's because of our own sin. Because of our own sin. People try to be civilized. There are countries that are civilized now who don't want war. But there's all that small minority countries who are still wanting war. The Middle East, you know, and what happens if it does happen? There's no winners. Sorry about the little rant, folks. Love your fellow man, not kill them. Well folks, I just came on to show you just one of my Falcon pipes, and there's no need for you to buy the Falcon inner little ring bits. You can just make them out of your own pipe cleaners.
Quite a mild night tonight, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really mild. I live approximately 1 mile away from where the last British battle took place between Scotland and England. I stay a mile away from Culloden Moor.
Culloden battlefield. We've walked in that all.
Yes, it's a lovely battlefield to walk around, but it's very sad.
It is sad.
It's sad. You know, you're talking about a bunch of Highlanders who fought all the way down from Inverness to through Glasgow, Edinburgh, right down to Derby, not that far from London, and then they had to march all the way back up, exhausted, and fight the British Army, brother against brother, father against son. The last battle at
Really
Culloden
sad.
Moor in the year 1746. I was up seeing my own clan stone there, Stuart of Appin, Athol, Stuarts of Athol, Camerons, MacLeans, Macintosh, lots of different clans, MacDonald. Very sad. Yeah, me and my wife have walked around it. Anyway, folks, I just thought I'd come on and talk about Falcon pipes.
And get your wee rant out.
And get my wee rant out, yeah. Yeah, I should be the Prime Minister or the President or something. Not. But cheers, Senator Col Piper, for the AC/DC-ness of it all. Yeah, pure rock and roll, my man. Love AC/DC, so I do. I play the guitar also, and I have about 5 or 6 different SGs. I play lead guitar,
And play your pipes.
and I'm a piper. Yeah,
Music paper, not smoke paper.
I a bagpiper and a smoking piper and a lead guitarist. So with that, I'll leave you. May your pipes always be full of good tobacco. It doesn't matter what pipe you're smoking, but you enjoy it. God bless you all, and look after yourselves and your families. Over and out for now. Cheers, folks. Tobacco smoking pipers. Bye from the Highlands.